Facts. Boy. So, when did pro scouts start to reach out to you?
So man, I didn't get a whole lot of love coming out of the draft. Like I played in an All-Star game. It's called Medal of Honor up in South Carolina, and I didn't really hear anything until then. And at that point, you don't really know what's what until someone actually sits down and tries to have a real conversation with you. Because for the most part, you're filling out questionnaires. They might have a special questionnaire that a certain team hands you and wants you to fill out, or they'll sit there and do like a quick 5 minute, just filling out their own paperwork. So I didn't really get any love until it was like the day before the game, the All-Star game. My agent, told the people, working the game that I wasn't going to play because, I had a neck issue. And then the 49ers scout called me, and he called me after the game when they were watching film. He goes, hey, we're watching practice and the games, and he's like, we don't see you at the game. Like, was everything okay? Did you end up not playing? I told him the situation, and I feel like I got lucky because the more I started, talking to scouts later on in the process, I realized that a lot of these scouts didn't do their homework and see that I played at Florida. They thought I was at BC and didn't play until my last year of college. So this is the only guy that really knew, from my understanding, because he asked me on the phone, he goes, is there anything else we should know about you? And he's like, he kind of went through a little list, and I'm like, man, I didn't hear you say, anything about, my time at Florida. He goes, you went to Florida? I said, yeah, 4 years, graduated. He goes, oh, we had no idea. He goes, how long did you play? And, I told him, what games, or like what to look for, like the last 4 games of the last 2 years. And then next thing you know, I feel like that's what got me fucking drafted, because my dumbass agent wasn't out here telling these fucking scouts and the NFL personnel, like, hey, he played games at Florida too. Because obviously I did my thing at BC, making all conference, but it's like if you'd have watched me down at Florida, I'm playing against Sheldon Richardson and, some other top guys who were, top round picks. And I feel like, like ultimately that's God, because like no other scout called and asked that. I feel like no other scout knew it, because even my, first couple years in the league, when I'm, getting cut and going to different teams, I'm kind of asking, different scouts. And I'm like, yo, like, you got the whole write-up on me, just asking, like, did you know I played at Florida? Like, no, we didn't know. So, just something that slipped through the cracks. And I feel like the one team that did see it, they were like, okay, well, we need to pick this guy up, because they obviously saw some good shit on that film.
So, walk me through draft day. Like, I know you didn't get picked up till the 3rd day, right?
Mm-hmm.
So walk me through the first 2 days and then that 3rd day and how it happened.
Man, so when you're going through the process, you're gonna be looking online. So I'm looking online and on Twitter and stuff, just trying to look up my name and see like, okay, where do some of these, websites project me to go? And I ain't gonna lie, I didn't see shit. I didn't see my name on any projection. Like, I didn't see it on any type of 6th round, 7th round, nothing. So I'm going in just like, okay, I'm just gonna watch the draft and see what my boys, end up getting picked and signed. And the funny thing is, I took a pre-draft visit to Dallas, and when I left there, I felt kind of nervous because I felt like I fucked up, the coaching stuff on the board, and to kind of test out where my knowledge is of O-line schematics, and just seeing what I could pick up and what I could process. And I feel like I kind of fucked it up. Like I felt there, feeling a little insecure. I'm like, damn, it's like I felt like I knew football, but then I sat in that meeting, I'm like, holy shit, like the level of detail in the NFL is fucking crazy, because my head, like I left with my head spinning after that shit. So I'm like, man, Dallas definitely ain't picking me up. And then I'm sitting there, you know, with my boy watching the draft, and it's the third round, and I get a phone call, and it's from you know, the Dallas area. So I pick up the phone, and it's the O-line coach for the Cowboys, and he goes, "Hey Ian, you know, just sitting here thinking about you, you know, hoping that, you know, everything's cool. You know, we really enjoyed the visit. You know, when he came out, you know, we were really impressed with this and that." And then he's like, "You know, stay by your phone." I'm like, "Okay," you know, I'm not thinking nothing of it. And then, you know, on the bottom ticker, it's got like the 9 teams that are, you know, next in the draft. It switches over and Dallas is the last name on the screen. I'm like, holy shit, I'm about to get drafted by the fucking Cowboys in the third round. So it's like, as the teams, you know, just keep on going by and it's getting closer and closer to Dallas, like, I'm getting tight. I'm like, holy shit, I'm about to be a third round pick. I'm like, there's no fucking way. I'm like, I didn't see anything with my name on it. And, you know, you see different guys, you know, get drafted way higher than their projection, but I'm like, there's no way I'm going from 0 talks to being a third round pick, but I'm still getting nervous. And then they get there, it's Dallas's pick, and they end up picking my roommate from Florida, Chaz Green. And, you know, at that time, it's like, you know, I kind of felt like a sense of relief, like, holy shit, you know, I'm not about to, you know, freak the fuck out, but, you know, I'm happy as shit because he drafted my boy and, you know, his life just changed. So, you know, I felt like just as excited as I would have been if it was me, I was just as excited, you know, because it was my boy who also put in a tremendous amount of work. But kind of got off topic. But leading up to the draft, man, it's like that third day, like I said, I'm thinking nothing. I'm just, you know, I'm getting texts in the morning from different GMs and personnel people because what they want to do before the late rounds is kind of put feelers out there for free agents. So they're sending different texts like, hey, you know, we're thinking about, like, and they'll bullshit you. They're like, oh, we got these picks coming up in round 5, 6, and 7, and we're definitely considering you, you know, around this range, blah, blah, blah. They're just telling you that to, you know, butter it up for, you know, when you become a free agent. Like, oh man, you know, we were this close to drafting you. Bullshit. Like, they just want you as a free agent, you know? So I had a whole bunch of teams hit me up with that. At first I got excited, then my agent called me. He's like, look, calm down, you know, don't think nothing of it. And then out of nowhere, get a phone call from, you know, Santa Clara area code. And it's the scout that called me, you know, when I was, the 49er scout, when I was going through that All-Star game process. And then he said, look, I'm here with, you know, the GM and the head coach at the time. And he's like, we're going to draft you. But then my phone cut out. Like, we're living in Green Cove and it's the boonies out there. So my phone just cuts out. I'm like, oh shit. So I go run outside. I'm trying to call the number back. It's going straight to voicemail. And we're playing phone tag for like 3 minutes. And I'm like, man, holy shit. Like, I'm about to not get drafted because I ain't got no fucking phone service. But they, you know, we wound up getting on the phone, you know, talking to the GM, head coach, O-line coach, and, you know, I got drafted. And honestly, you know, it was one of those moments where it's like, holy shit, it's one of the best moments of my life. And I just couldn't help it, man. I just, you know, I really just kind of sat there quiet, just crying to myself because I'm like, fuck, like, all the bullshit I had to go through in Florida, you know, every bullshit situation, every, you know, negative interaction I had with the coach or, you know, somebody at Florida and just all the work that I put in. You know, it's like I done had to fight through shoulder surgeries. I put in so much work, dealt with that adversity. And it's just like, man, like, it was for something, you know, like it wasn't all for nothing. I just didn't go through that shit just to, you know, just to say, oh, I played college football. It's like, fuck, like, I busted my ass and went through everything. And, you know, like, this is, you know, the moment. It's like, fuck, man, I got drafted. And I wasn't expecting it at all. So, you know, it was a true, you know, whirlwind of emotions, you know, just everything going through. Cause like all that hit me at the same time. I'm like, man, like, you know, I really made it through all these different situations. Like I never gave up on myself. Like I always told myself I'm gonna make it to the league and I did. So, you know, it was a real emotional day. But you know, after you get those emotions out the way where you're like, you're grateful, all the gratitude, it's like, yeah, then that's when all the excitement hits and it's time to, go celebrate. But yeah, man, so, I went through it that day. It's like, the highs, the lows, being excited, yeah, man, it was a great day. Great.